hate the new Roblox UGC changes. This was the goofiest decision that Roblox has ever made, and it's gonna result in a massive net negative for both the players of Roblox, but also the creators of those UGC themselves. And the reason for that is something that I don't think anyone has really considered. But before I get into those points, if you just joined Roblox yesterday and you're like, oh, what does limiteds mean? I've never heard of that before. Basically, it's an item on Roblox which has a limited quantity amount. For example, the Chill White Vampire Face, limited quantity, only 150 can ever exist. And so once those 150 have been sold, you can't buy it anymore, except for if those original 150 people who bought it resell the item. But the thing is, they can resell it at any price they want. They could sell this White Vampire Face for a quintillion Robux, and they'd hope that someone would buy it. Yes, they've been around in Roblox for a while, but this is the first time that UGC creators, just the average people who can upload items to Roblox, have been able to make limiteds. And it has opened the floodgates. There are so many limiteds already coming down. Some of them as awful as the UGC catalog usually. For example, Yellow Banana Cap, which 288 people have bought. I don't know if anyone's gonna be buying that one from the resale. Every single item on the Roblox catalog, if you check by recently created, is a limited now. And this is just so bad for the platform because this change was created entirely, and that this is the only reason it would have been implemented, for money. It was created for Roblox to get a lot more money. It was created for UGC creators to get a lot more money. It was also created for users to get a whole lot more money. This entire thing was made with money in mind, which at the end of the day is the main crux as to why this is so bad. If we take a time machine and go back to before this change, let's go back to a time where limiteds were only limited to Roblox being able to produce them. Why did people buy limiteds? There are a couple of reasons. One, people bought limiteds because they thought they'd go up in price and they could resell them for later, which is, it started a huge stock economy on Roblox. I partook in that when I was like 12 years old and I lost like 20,000 Robux, which is like $200. I lost all that money and I'm still very salty about it. I made horrible trades. Anyway, they were all about trading to earn money. What else did people buy limiteds for? Status and to like flex on people. What do you see a lot of rich game developers buying? They're buying Dominuses. They're buying like the top hats. There's probably better things than top hats. The Valkyrie helmets. They're buying all that stuff. They're putting them on their character because it's a sign of status because they cost so much. And only in a super rare scenario do you have someone who's like, I want that 99 million Robux limited just because it's the perfect fit for my character, completely ignoring the price of it and the status of it and everything, purely because they want it for the cosmetic. Only 0.01% of people would have bought something like that just for the cosmetic. And I know a lot of people would say that they did just buy it for the cosmetic, but that's because they probably shaped their avatar around that item rather than just added that item onto their already pre-made avatar because they thought it would be the perfect addition to make it look really cool. What I'm getting at is that these limiteds have always been about money and status. And by Roblox introducing this to the brand new UGC items, they're doing that to bring in this money and status to these items and lifting the price because of the supply and demand. It's all about money. As a little metaphorical example, it's like Aloysius O'Hare in the Lorax, bottling air and selling it. By creating demand for air, people want to buy it, and so he makes a lot of money from it. Now look, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with Roblox trying to make a couple more dollars, introducing limited items, you know, and maybe making a couple more bucks from it. But I think they're missing the unintended consequences that this is going to cause on the Roblox platform, which is really, really bad for the players of the Roblox platform and also pretty bad for the UGC creators themselves. Just a huge net negative. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the one scenario where I think it's a good idea, and that's limited time player-made events. Like imagine players making a 2023 Roblox Easter egg hunt with limited time items. That's pretty cool. Or like a tower defense simulator being like, hey, April Fool's event, we've got a limited item, only a few people can get it. Hey, go do that. I think that's awesome for those Roblox games. Another example, and I can't believe I'm talking about Pet Simulator X in a positive way like this, but the Pet Simulator X limited time banana that they sold on the Roblox catalog. I love the idea where limited items in the catalog can be brought into the game, and it kind of functions like the NFTs that they wanted to do, but a lot more reliable and less NFT-like. I think that's really cool. It definitely rewards game developers a lot in this. But that's about as far as I'd go for giving the limited change a positive review there. It's only downhill from here, and so let's talk about the downsides of the new UGC changes. Firstly, for users. And users have it really tough. And by users, I mean the players on the Roblox platform. Me, you, your mum, if she plays Roblox with you, pretty much anyone who wants to buy items on the Roblox platform, we're in for a heck of a lot of trouble. Firstly, number one is scalper bots. So scalper bots have been a problem ever since Limiteds really came out, but even more recently, they're basically bot programs that like sweaty nerds have made that as soon as a limited item becomes available, it boom spams the buy button and they buy like 50 billion of the limiteds with the hope that these limiteds will go up in future, and then they can resell them for a bigger value and make big dollar Robux. There's so many of that going on, and the fact that there's not really many safeguards for that is really, really bad. So many people are going to be missing getting an item that they want because of these bots. Like, if you wanted the chill white vampire face, boom, there may be only like 50 living people that have bought this, and then anyone else who wants to probably won't be able to in future because just so many people with the bots have it, and they just keep it in their inventory forever until the price goes up, and you're pretty much getting nothing. The second change, and I think honestly this is the really, really bad one, is that it's really outpricing just your average Roblox player. Like, your average Roblox player doesn't have thousands and thousands of Robux to spend on one item. They're relying on like people who are releasing items for the 50 Robux at like those super cheap prices to be able to make their avatar outfit. And by encouraging UGC creators to make their items limited, because it does seem like these UGC creators will make more money, at least at first, I'll get onto that later, from these UGC limited. So they're just gonna be pumping out all these limited items, like all of these, and then these are gonna get sold out. They're gonna be a limited quantity, and so the prices are probably gonna go up because people really want to make money, which comes back to the whole point about how limiteds were made for money and why that's bad, because it's just gonna be lifting the prices. And eventually, there's not really gonna be many new items that people can buy, these kids, because they're all limited and they're outpriced. Like, a kid wouldn't be able to buy the golden cross heart because it's just so expensive, and I bet you that'll get more expensive later on. And if it weren't for this UGC change, all of these would probably only be like a couple hundred Robux and you'd be able to buy as many as possible. I feel like Roblox really needs to be about having fashion for as many people as possible and letting anyone dress how they want to be, rather than gatekeeping these items behind a high price. So bam, the average Roblox player is losing out by items going UGC because they have to spend a lot more Robux for it. But then UGC creators themselves are also losing out in this. Probably not as much. Firstly, as a minor point, it encourages the creation of more cheap cringe items. For example, the Diamond Sue Chain and the admin commands. They're making everything limited now because it's wacky and it's crazy and it apparently makes a lot of money. There's also creators which are trying to game the system by spending a whole bunch of Robux to make like 100,000 limited items free for people, which is awesome at first, but then again, they're also doing it for money because they get a percentage cut of every single resale. So what they're doing is they're hoping a lot of people buy it and then they start trading it to other people and they can hopefully make the money back by everyone reselling it, which is a great idea, but I don't know how well it will go in future, because honestly, if people don't want to be buying this resold stuff, then they're gonna be straight up losing a lot of money. And I think this is a trap that a lot of UGC creators are going to fall into. And then finally, the worst point of them all, people can just make copies of your thing anyway. We've seen on the Roblox UGC program, people just make remakes of limited items already and sell them for 50 Robux, or maybe don't even sell them at all. They just do it so that they can look cool. And Roblox like barely does anything about them. They rarely ever ban these people, which is really, really bad, because if you do end up making a UGC item that like has 100 copies and people love it, like you just got like a bit of money on your forearm and it has like a weirdly shaped dollar and people are like, oh, this is great. Well, guess what? Buddy Ben, the UGC creator man, he's like, oh, money, forearms, okay. They just make an item that looks extremely similar, maybe with a slightly different color. They sell that maybe as like a cheaper limited or not a limited at all. And boom, all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, I could already get this item from my buddy Ben for 50 Robux. So, okay, I'm not buying that one anymore. And so then the UGC creator who created that is no longer getting any money. The resellers are losing all their value, which I'll be talking about after this, and everyone loses in that point, except for Buddy Ben, who makes money off of making the copy, the ripoff. And so we have Roblox players getting priced out of markets. We have UGC creators getting flummoxed by people who just want to make copies anyway. But we haven't talked about the people who actually usually try to make money, which is, I guarantee you, going to be most children on the platform who talk about limiteds at the moment. It's the resellers, the people who like buy these items with the intent for them to go up and make money and then sell them later. I was one of them, and I guarantee you, like most people on the platform, when they hear about limiteds and how limiteds can go up in value, they're going to be thinking that, because obviously we're Roblox. We're not exactly Wall Street. We're not the stock market people. We're dumb. So many people are going to see this change and be like, dollar sign, cha-ching, cha-ching, money. And so they're just going to try and like buy every single limited that comes out with all their Robux. They're going to be spending it. And if you've already done it, the thing is, that's not what's going to be happening. The majority of people are going to be losing money on this. One of the reasons is that Roblox recently did this really weird change where when you resell an item, you're not going to be getting all that Robux value back. Roblox is taking 30% of the cut, so already you're losing 30%. Then the original creator of the item also gets 10%, which I'm pretty sure leaves you with 60% at most, meaning that you're going to have to really have that item go up high in value before you can even start thinking about making profits. And then the other reason, and this is the main reason for this entire video, the number one reason why I don't like that Roblox added UGC when every UGC item is limited. No UGC items are limited. As we speak, the Roblox catalog is getting flooded with limited item after limited item after limited item. They're not special anymore. People aren't gonna be buying every single one, or maybe they will initially, which is the problem right now. People are just buying as many as they can, but then people are gonna be like, oh, well, I guess that everything's limited, so I'm gonna be very picky with what I buy from now on, and I'm only gonna be buying the things that I really desperately want, which will likely result in, for the vast majority of these items, barely anyone ever getting a resell. You're literally gonna have to sell this at a lower price than what you bought it. I bet you for a lot of these, it's gonna be like 1 Robux you're gonna end up having to sell it for, because nobody just wants to buy them. Like, for example, like, I guess the Diamond CU chain, like, I don't know any person, like, 5 years from now that's gonna be like, oh man, you remember that Diamond CU chain item? I really want to buy that. Admin commands, I can see that one because that's a pretty popular looking format. But like the yellow banana cap, like as soon as the shovelware game dies out, people are gonna be like, that's a banana on a cap. And the metal neck for headless, I can't believe this is limited. This is an item that so many people could be using for their avatars to make it look cool when they have headless, but it's locked behind a limited quantity paywall. And so less people are gonna be wanting to buy this. In fact, barely anyone is in future once limiteds die out, depriving everyone in the Roblox community from getting a cool item like this, which I think would look pretty cool for headless people. Anyway, so the consequences of this is that limiteds are pretty much like gonna all collapse. They're all gonna go down in price. Nobody's gonna be wanting to buy like a limited fishing sweater because not many people want to dress up in fishing sweaters on Roblox compared to right now, because right now everyone's in a frenzy being like, oh, I can make so much money from this, when in a few months from now, everything's just gonna be like back to normal. Nobody's gonna be buying these limiteds because there's just so many of them, so much choice, and they may as well just buy a cheaper non-limited item. And that inevitably will lead creators to stop making limited items, and in the end, I think we'll come down to a pretty weird balance in the end where there's gonna be barely any limited items. I think it's probably gonna flop in future, and people will be like, yeah, limiteds, I guess that's a thing. I don't think it'll be the thriving market that Roblox thinks it will be, and between that, people are gonna lose a lot of Robux thinking that they're gonna be able to make a lot of money from this, which they're not. I highly doubt it. You can hold me to my word several months down the line, give it a year maybe, and you know, maybe if I'm wrong, a $10 Roblox gift card. Wow, we're really profiting off of this. But yeah, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!